What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am Cordero Simmons and you are watching KS Aquatics. This is my first YouTube video ever, so I'm going to try and make it as best as possible. Please forgive me because I know my light exposure can get a little off. I'm going to try to adjust that as I focus in on me showing the fish out. And I'm just gonna take you on a quick tour on everything. Okay, so first and foremost, I'd like to thank every single one of you who have taken the time out to click and watch my video, my very first YouTube video. I am going to take you guys on a tour of all of my tanks that are here at home. I have a few at the office. I'm sorry, not a few, a couple. Try to get these in there. None of my tanks have painted backs, unfortunately. It's, you know, I never got around to it. My configuration here isn't permanent, and it's gonna happen one day. Just know, when I do, it's gonna be nice. Okay, everyone, for starters, we have our Green Lantern Platy and Emerald Corridors tank. I like to call it my green tank. Get it? No? Okay. Usually my corridors are a lot more active, but I guess they knew I'd be recording today. My Emerald Platies, I have one female who is definitely holding some babies. I don't know if you can see her right there. Yep, there she goes. They're in here with the water sprite. They've spawned about 3 times. I've collected almost a dozen fry out of this tank. So no complaints, nothing major, you know, the typical live bear stuff. And below I have the black red-tail variatus platies. Same ordeal, just different selection of plants. I don't really have a ton of plants. I just buy what I can get and let them propagate on their own. I'm just trying to focus and get this light exposure down. Okay, there we go. So yes. There they are, and there was some Anacaris, Rotala indica, green kabumba, some swords. Yeah, I got some Synodontis catfish in there too. And below those guys are a tank full of Inler guppy fry. I actually had one female drop all of these. I don't know how many are in here. Of course, I didn't count. And if we can just focus, I have skunk corridors. And for some reason, they're like the bigger species of corridors, but they always hide, literally always, until it's time to eat or when the lights go off. That's when they're most active, in my tank, that is. Going back up to the right, I have tiger barbs. Guys, this is actually my first set of tiger barbs ever. Like, these guys, they're pretty active. They stay together all the time. And I don't really have any complaints out of them. So, yeah. Oh, and also, I got these guys from Walmart. Usually, I never pick up Walmart fish, but someone told me they were having a 50% off sale, and they were already marked down on top of that. So I probably paid maybe like $1 a barb, which you really can't beat considering they were in such good health at the time too. And also, there are some Synodontis catfish in here, also known as the featherfin. Oh, there they go right there, little guys. Yeah, they're just chilling. I made this little hide for them with the broken pots and whatnot. Out, my goodness, this light exposure. Okay, we have our mix-up tank of platies and guppies, and I also have some Julii corridors, the more shy species of the corridors catfish. They usually hide until it's time to eat. They do stay together for the most part, but I'm actually just holding these fish because, once again, a good amount of them came from a sale. So, yep, I just have them, majority of them males. And down here used to be a thriving cherry shrimp tank. When I say thriving, guys, I bought a dozen cherry shrimp like February of last year, and a year later I had at least 100 to 125, and a month after that the whole thing just crashed. I literally had 0 shrimp left. I don't know what happened. I know I stopped doing water tests later on as things were getting worse, so of course that was stupid, but I can definitely say I'll try again. I was doing 10% water changes every month versus every week because I was concerned about keeping the parameters the same, and you know how those shrimp can be. Here we have our coolie loach and pygmy Corydoras tank. Let's see if I can get that light exposure down. Yeah, we got some coolies over there chilling in the Rotala indica and Java fern. Got some dwarf sage in here along with some green kabumba. And guys, I'm actually thinking about throwing on a hang-on back filter on the side right here. For the simple fact that my green kabumba is just collecting all of the mold and debris that would usually go into the filter. And the cories, the pygmies, they don't, you know, go through that enough to actually keep it off of it. And if they do, it just lands right back on it. Sorry for that. Once again, it's my first time actually using this DJI gimbal. Here is one of my 55s. There is a rainbow shark fire mouse cichlid. More barbs, but these are albino tiger barbs. We have a yo-yo loach right here doing this thing. Guys, a lot of times yo-yo loaches may look like they're dying, but they like to take naps. They, you know, different times of the day, they will just chill out and damn near look as if they're dead, but they're actually just napping. I also got a clown loach in there too. 2 of them, I mean. Right here is my reservoir, my rolling reservoir, I should say. And this is 32 gallons of water that I let cycle. And I roll around and I do water changes and I top off all my tanks. We just gonna move this out the way. Fix this exposure. Okay, so lower 55. I always said I was never going to keep goldfish again. But me being Captain Save-A-Fish, of course I had to give some fish a good home. And I don't know if you can see, but also down there is my dojo loach. These guys are making it. It's 80 degrees in that tank. And I know they like the 73 to, no, I'm sorry, the 67 to 73 range. But they're making it, you know, they haven't shown any signs of stress that I know of in a goldfish. And also I have some Siamese algae eaters. They do an excellent job of cleaning off BBA. That's also known as blackbeard algae or black bush algae. I like to call it blackbeard algae. But all of this wood used to be completely covered in BBA. And even this little floating rock right here. But to the help of 9 Siamese algae eaters, they cleaned off pretty much every bit of it. And there's like a little bit in the substrate on the rock still, but they are working. It used to even be, well, there's some there completely like covering my sponge filter. And what you see on the top there is all that's left of it. So if you have BBA, I highly recommend Siamese algae eaters. They go for about $2.50 a pop. So it's not so bad. And they make a big difference in your tank. Coming over, I have a 5.5 gallon with bumblebee platies, 1 male, 2 females, and these are the remaining emerald Corydoras fry that I have. That is actually my 2nd time breeding emerald Corydoras. I had to learn a valuable lesson with newborn fish and treating them with general cure because I did not know about tapeworms in fish. And when I had inherited, let's see, about 60 just guppies, and I mixed them with my, my emerald corridors that I had already had for years, bad things happen and we learn lessons. So I pretty much lost like about 43 or 44 emerald corridors fried. They didn't even make the 4-month mark. Next to them are 2 guppies, one Endler, one mutt fancy guppy, and of course they're going to produce some more mutts, but they'll be pretty. And who doesn't like guppies? Above that is my neon tetra tank. I actually have 2. The other one at the office is a neon tetra tank. Primarily is the showcase fish. I love neons. You can't go wrong with them. Everyone always asks, what kind of fish is that? And here we have our red neon Stiphodon goby. These are some pretty cool fish too. They are very, very docile. They can pretty much go with any fish. Just don't put them with cichlids. I take that back. Don't put them with aggressive fish, period, because they'll think he's a worm and he will be picked on. Well, as far as that goes, I take that back because he can actually live with cichlids such as, crap, I cannot think of it. Bolivian ram cichlids. Yes, Bolivian rams and the dwarf cichlid species. Up here is my grow out tank for all of my fry. Remember how earlier I said I collect for my platies? Pretty much everyone goes in here, and I don't know how well you can see. I'm trying to focus. Yeah, these are all my little fry. If I can just, okay, there we go. Yep. Oh, and I also just picked up 3 cobalt blue Stiphodon gobies earlier this week. I was so happy. I've been trying to get that fish for like 7 or 8 months, people. So if you're ever in a store and you see a fish that you like and you're contemplating on getting it because of the size, get it anyway, because odds are you might not see that fish again and you are going to so regret that you did not pick it up. Because I know I did. But I have 3 now. 7 months later, that is. So, these are all the tanks in my garage. See my little rolling reservoir. And I'm gonna take you guys in the house. Okay, so you just got the tour of everything in the garage. Now I'm gonna show you inside of my house. Okay, so for starters, I started with a 155 gallon tank and then I got the 20 high. This has been a community tank 3 times, a species only tank 2 times. Let me go over here. So I guess I'll start with the 55. I have 6 blood parrots, 2 ropefish, 2 gouramis, and 2 Polypterus senegalis, also known as the biker or biter or dinosaur fish. This water is a little cloudy because I do feed my fish frozen meat, bloodworms, and cichlid pellets. Oh, here we go. Now we got some action. Photo bomb. How do they know I'm looking at him? Here's my ropefish. Everyone gets along fine until it's time to eat, and then everyone's just a greedy fish. And if we move over here to our left, we have the German blue ram tank. Of course, these guys see me because it is the daytime and there's a ton of light coming in behind me. So they're like, what the heck is going on? But I also have some angel ram cichlids in here with the German blue rams. They get along just fine. Well, I wouldn't say just fine, but they coexist. We know how these type of dwarf cichlids can be with each other. As far as other fish, I mean, they're good. But then again, when they used to be in my 55, they started beefing with the firemouth cichlid. Is why I took them out. But we got a ton of water sprite in here. And I'm really trying to not get such a glare and focus on the fish for you guys. Give me a chance. Okay, there we go. There we go. See some of that pretty up, and he's gone. And he's gone. Okay. Moving over here to my other rack. I have just some 2.5s holding plants. Of course, we got some Java fern down there, some dwarf sage there, some green kabumba trying to bounce back along with some Rotala indica, and the nothing tank. Below that is like a quarantine tank that I keep one female in right now. I'm sorry, 2 females in right now. They don't fight with each other. They are just, you know, gonna have their babies in there. It's bare bottom so I can see them, because when I used to do it outside in the garage with the tank with gravel, I had an issue with the fry swimming down in the substrate and getting stuck or possibly getting crushed. So yeah, when is that time, or close as possible to that time, I will put my females in this bare bottom tank and collect from them that way. If I have more than one, I will stretch them out and put them in the 2.5s. It's not the best thing for them, but when you have a mean guppy female, Inler guppy female, along with 3 other females who are all pregnant, it kind of doesn't work out well. So that's what I gotta do. And above that, it's gonna be one more 20 long. You guys see that perfect space right there? Yep. Shrimp tank's probably gonna move in. Yep. Okay, people, so there you have it. That was everything here at the house. I'm gonna make another video simply to cut out my time purpose-wise. I hope you enjoyed everything. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna try to push out videos every other week. I cannot guarantee videos every week because I work a lot. And yeah, all feedback is great, good and or bad. Let me have it, people, because I'm only gonna keep this up and I need to know how I can improve. So if you like this video, give me a like or thumbs up. And until next time.